on that bunk. I'm yelling, hey, freaking out. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Andy grabs me, pulls me out of the bunk, and he's like, bro, you okay with this?
This is Eshawn Burgundy. Right now, you in the field with the Trackstarz. Yeah.
Yeah, back in the field with the Trackstarz. Ryan Righteous, SEANTANA, DJ Jeremiah was good.
Yeah, make sure you make your way over to www.trackstarz.com for all things Trackstarz. Follow us on Instagram at Trackstarz. Follow us on Twitter at Trackstarz. Subscribe to the YouTube page and like the Facebook page.
All right, man. So we still got Gotti in the building here. All right, so let's get into the EP.
Yes.
Lost in Hue. So tell us the inspiration behind that.
Yeah, the title Lost in Hue is just basically me coming out as an artist. I want people to get lost in culture. I want people to get lost in the colors of bright pop EDM music. I want people to get lost in love, which is, you know, me talking about the love that I have for my wife, or the relationship of love between, you know, Jesus and me and our relationship, just all topics of love. And yeah, so the EP is very colorful and bright. Even EP2 is very colorful and bright. So Hue just felt right, and I wanted people to get lost in that.
That's what's up. So talk about Late Nights. That's a video that's out now.
Yeah, a music video just came out.
Yeah.
Very excited about it. It's been doing great. People have been loving it. And Late Nights is just basically a song, me singing, where a lot of times late at night, a lot of, you know, I think a lot of people can relate to this, where I'll be laying in bed and your mind just starts racing at 1,000, and you start thinking about your biggest fears, like, am I going to be a good husband? Am I going to be a good father? And then even thoughts of like temptations, you know, just lustful thoughts. So it was me just proclaiming, like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
And the late nights won't take control of those thoughts.
In the video, there was a young lady kind of driving you around and taking you to the club, and then you diss her at the end. So that she represents what, temptation.
Yeah, Latch Lab did a phenomenal job doing this art piece. So if you look at the music video, you notice that I never make eye contact with her, and she never. I never make her known inside the presence. So she's. She resembles a figure of just thoughts, fears, temptations, and all of that.
Yeah.
And I love that she was the driver in the first scene. And it's just basically, that's what sin does to us. It drives us in different places that we don't want to be at. And then, of course, we ended up at a bar scene. I took a sip of a juice that lights up, which is what everyone's eyes are lighting up. And I think in those environments, whenever you're in an environment that you just don't want to be at and just feels negative, you kind of feel like people notice you. Like, you're not supposed to be here, type of thing. Like, why are you here? You know? So, you know, that was another dope moment in the video that I really liked. And, you know, I've been in clubs before where that's how I felt. I was like, why am I here? This is so stupid. But I came with my boys at the time. I thought with my boys, all right, you know? And then the video finishes off with a scene where her and I have a face-off in the middle of the road, and she's walking towards me, and I kind of just push her hand away and just saying, like, I don't want to be part of that. Good. So the song is very like a ballad, but also house music, which I love, because I don't think it should be something dark. I think it's something we should celebrate, where, you know, there's sweet victory at the end of all that, you know.
That's awesome. So you got any more videos lined up for this one?
For this one, no, but for EP2,
the next one? Yeah. All right, that's awesome. So when's that coming out?
EP2 comes out September 9th, so in a few more weeks.
Awesome.
Oh,
man.
wow.
Excited about that one?
Very excited.
All right, so which one's better? The next one's coming.
They're both amazing. Both are amazing.
You say something for us?
Listen.
I'm trying to get him to admit that he has a favorite. He hasn't admitted one yet.
You know, I'm an inventor, but the leadership role right now is going to be like, yo, both albums. Cop it.
Label says to get both of them.
So what are we getting in the second that you didn't put into the first? Is there a different style? Is there a different attitude?
There's more energy on the second one.
Okay.
It's still in the same lines though. It's still pop EDM, which I love that I'm doing that right now. So it's just a part 2 to the story.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm working on my album right now that's going to be released early next year.
Okay.
I'm beyond excited about that.
Oh, yeah.
This was just a tease for people and also great music at the same time. But yeah.
How does this change for you? Because the reach cycle, somebody's always up, and you're normally in the background working on like Trip. When you put out the Triple E joint, was amazing. It's always somebody else's turn. How does it feel? Kind of like you're up now. Like the whole label is now focused on you. Has it been different?
Yeah, it's it just makes me smile when I think about it. It's like, oh, you're an artist now. Okay.
Yeah,
because there's a major difference. I'm not a on-staff producer anymore at Reach, so when I walk into the office, there's different conversations now. It's not like, hey, we need to get Triple E's album out ASAP.
Yeah.
Now it's like, hey, Gavi, let's talk about marketing plans for your album. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And now all eyes are fixed on me in the meeting rooms instead of me being part of, the meeting. So it's really cool.
You like this conversation a whole lot better, that where you're talking from an artist standpoint as a producer as opposed to the producer?
I like both of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Because I'll always be a producer.
Yeah. When you sit down and you're about to make a track for yourself, do you do anything differently than you would if you were with another artist?
Yeah, whenever I produce for somebody, I want to cater to them. Okay. So I'll give them my true emotions of what I feel at the moment, sonically. But when I was doing Triple E's Rise album, I wanted to make sure I knew what he liked, what he was listening to, try to figure out what chords really fit his vocals, because Trip has a tone that's very distinct. Like, you just know it. So there could be some chords that make him go high pitch and he just doesn't sound that right. He kind of sounds nasally. So I like to cater to the artist, but when I'm working on my own stuff, it's just free range, and it's so fun for me because it's just so many possibilities,
Yeah.
So that's what I'm excited about with this album, this EP, Lost in Hue, and then the next one in a few weeks, September 9th.
Are you gonna have some features on the album? Like, are you gonna have like people maybe rapping over some joints or singing over some joints?
Yeah, I'll give you guys a gem.
Okay.
I got John Gibbs on this one. So it's a
John,
crazy song.
John
crazy.
Is a beast. John is a beast. Absolute monster.
Yeah. So I haven't fully gone away from hip hop. I know it was scary for a lot of people. They're like, "Wait, what's going on? There's no hip hop," which I love.
Yeah.
But my album, when I release it beginning of next year, you'll hear a lot of hip hop influence. But I really want to go down this lane of just pop EDM. So John Gibbs did a phenomenal job making those two worlds connect.
That's amazing.
So let's talk about tours. You got a tour schedule coming up from this month going all into the fall. What do you like best about touring? What do you like least about touring?
Yeah, that's a great question. My favorite thing is I answered this the other time. I was like, I love what I do, but I hate that I'm away from the people that I love.
Oh, yeah.
How do you manage that? Just we're starting to feel the burn of having the family at home and having to do all this stuff. How do you manage that with your wife?
Yeah, we're still learning, because I feel like I've been in so many transitions in life, from producer and just getting signed and all that, and then I went on tour with Andy earlier this year. So my wife and I, we've just been trying to balance out life. When we just got married, we're 2.5 years in right now. Thank you. And then we had a daughter. We were trying to do the 5-year plan. That didn't work out. But hey, I love my daughter. I think she's one of the best blessings ever. Yeah. But I think it's a consistent learning as far as just trying to figure out how to be a husband, how to be a dad, and then also be an artist, which is being on the road a lot. It's been challenging, so prayer on that is always needed.
Oh yeah.
When you do your video blogs, you look like you're so comfortable. Like everything you're doing, you're just enjoying to the fullest. Yeah. Do you ever have those days where you just get up and you're like, man, I wish I could be doing something else or anything else or be somewhere else?
Yeah. Those moments only come when I haven't been next to my wife in a long time. So I loved being on tour. But towards the end, I was like, oh my gosh, I miss my wife. Where is she?
What was the schedule like for you?
Every day I woke up not knowing what time it was, what day it was, what city we were in, because you're literally in a bus in a coffin. And you're sleeping in those bunks, and you're just traveling from city to city, which is really cool experience, but draining at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy, man. That experience alone was like, yo, I don't think people understand that. Like, when you tour, you are sleeping sometimes in a bunk that is not like the hottest of the hottest thing.
I gotta tell you guys a story. It's embarrassing. So I'm on the tour bus. This is my first time ever being on a tour bus, and so picture you in a box like that, just sleeping, and I'm finding out for the first time that I'm claustrophobic.
Oh no!
I didn't know. So you're in a box and you can't even stretch your hands all the way up. Like, that's how far you hit the wall up. And then there's a wall right here, and then you have a curtain to go in and out. So I have my curtain all the way closed. I'm thinking everything's gravy. I fall asleep, everything's good. 3 o'clock in the morning, I wake up for some reason, right? But I'm facing this way now.
Yeah.
And here's the wall, here's this wall. And the way the bus is structured, you know, when it's nighttime, it's pitch black inside the bus. Like, you won't see nothing. You open your eyes and it's still black.
Yeah.
So then I'm like stretching, and I forget where I'm at, and I hit the walls. I'm like, I'm just bumping.
6 feet under.
And I go into panic mode, bro. I start yelling.
Oh no!
Hey! I start kicking, and what's embarrassing even more, propaganda is right on top of me on that bunk. I'm yelling, hey, freaking out. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Andy grabs me, pulls me out of the bunk, and he's like, bro, you okay? What's going on? And my heart is beating out of my chest. I'm sweating. I literally believed somebody locked me in a coffin. Like, truly believed. It was the worst feeling. So they bring me to the back. In the back of the bus, there's like a little living room area thing. And all the lights turn on there. It's him and Prop. And they're like really concerned. They're like, what happened? And I look, and I'm getting back, like I'm waking up, and I look, and I start laughing so hard. And I'm like, I had a bad dream, guys. I thought I was in a coffin. They died laughing for the rest of the tour. They were like, yo, do you need us to tuck you in tonight? Are you good? It was horrible. So yeah, tour life is not easy. It's not.
What advice do you have to artists who think that they want this? They dream about it all the time. They give up on responsibility of real issues and real priorities to try to like ride out this same thing that you're doing with tours and going from city to city and having all this this fame and popularity. What advice would you say to somebody who wants that? I mean, they shouldn't want it, right? It should just find them. It shouldn't be something you want, right?
Yeah, you know, it was all the guys. We just had a show in Washington, D.C. All the Reach guys were there, and we had an amazing dinner time together, just talking. We were talking about 116 and everything, just catching up to date. And one of the greatest things that Lecrae said was, man, when it was just me, Trip, and Tadashi and Show, we were just 116. Like, we had fun. And none of us ever asked to be like a leader or for the fame. And Lecrae was just sharing his heart, how he was like, I didn't know this was all gonna happen to me, you know. And he's a guy that doesn't want to be like the face all the time. He likes to play the background, but he's stuck. He's Lecrae, you know. And there's no 116 without him, Lecrae. And when I started hearing that, and we were sharing each other's stories, when I first started, I just loved music production, even with Rain of Soul, and then going out to do stuff for Lecrae on Rebel and all that. I just loved, and we didn't know this would happen. So people that are looking for it to happen, I think they're off to a bad start because life gets crazy. We did it out of passion, loving music and stuff like that, but then a lot of things that happen as far as sacrifices, like, it's really tough to be away from my wife and my daughter, especially you know, when I was on tour and I was away from my daughter, she was learning how to say papa and mama and crawling like crazy and learning how to stand on our own. I was like, oh, I'm the worst dad in the world.
FaceTime.
Watching it from FaceTime. So there's a lot of sacrifice. But yeah.
You must have a strong wife behind you, because it's a lot of sacrifice for her too. But she must believe in you to be able to go through it.
Yes, she's my number one fan. I love her. She's the biggest support.
There you go.
Lecrae was our first interview, our very first interview in 2008, right?
Yeah,
2008. And
how'd that go?
It was good. It was really good. It was really good.
Okay.
Really good. For me, it was amazing. I mean,
he was the only one there.
Yeah.
We don't know how it went.
Well, the video's up, but But
he said, "Look at the credits, guys." It's there.
Yeah, exactly. But the humility of him as an artist, man, it just made me want to do this. And so now that we're at this point where Trackstarz has gotten on almost 100 outlets or over 100 outlets, to me, it feels like the sacrifice is so hard. I left my job for a year to try to do this full time, and I had a 2-year-old at the time. My daughter's 3 now, and I've got one on the way any day now.
Yeah.
And so I went back to work because I felt like I was being a horrible dad. But then I realized after a while, what God is doing in us to build this up is going to be something that she can treasure. So even though you feel like, okay, I missed those FaceTime moments and things of that nature, I had to watch her from a distance, she's going to see this every documentary you put out, every video you put out, and it's just going to make her smile. It's going to make her so proud. It definitely catches up to itself, I think. But I was so worried about that. Worried about that. So I just hope that now that our schedules are getting busier and we're being called out of town, that I keep everything in mind from where we started to where we are now. And I mean, we started in a basement at Clark Atlanta University having a conversation, and the way we did our show was we would play, what was it, after the music stops, right? Yeah. And then we had Canton Jones' Password, and we would go track to track, and that's how we did our show for 4 hours.
That's awesome.
No conversation. No conversation. We just looked at each other, and it was quite boring. But I mean, it's just a great opportunity to see how far you guys have come. And
I mean, honestly, like we've been tracking with Reach. I mean, like you guys have laid the groundwork for. And when we got into this, we knew that media needed to exist around what you guys were doing, so people would know what's going on, like Rapzilla and back then the South, and we were just coming along to help, just to document what was going on. And the work you guys put in is affecting everybody. So I just want to say thank you for the work you guys have been doing, because it's legitimizing the work we're doing here.
Wow, thank you guys.
Yeah. Because if you guys hadn't come along, like I mean, everybody knows that the stigma about Christian hip hop has been that we've been corny for, years, and people didn't like the music. But you guys have allowed us to have something to argue back. We have a point now.
You guys are
we
proof.
can argue it back. Yeah.
Wow.
So, Gavi.com, Gavi everywhere. Go get the EP.
Yes.
More on the way. This is exciting, man. Just to see this come, man.
Can we get a Capital Kings and Gavi tour? That would be.
Yeah, I've been talking to Cole from Capital Kings.
Okay.
It might happen. I don't know.
Yes.
But the great peoples.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I love this stuff.
You want to talk about any shows you have coming up? I know you have a tour schedule for the fall.
Yes. So this is where I'm not a leader.
You pull up your website?
Yeah, probably. I have a calendar, and I have shows. But I know I have one coming up this week, next week.
Yeah.
Next Friday.
Yeah.
Here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Here we go. Yeah, come check us out.
Casa de Fe. You know what I'm saying?
It's all blurring together
550 Pleasant Hill Road. Come talk somebody.
Don't ever play yourself.
30047. Just know. Ooh, I'm gonna be in Guatemala.
Okay.
That's crazy.
That is.
Yes. And then the 30th, I got this thing with Engine Radio.
Okay.
In Houston, Texas. And then I definitely have more stuff than that. So my website needs to be updated a little bit on my tour dates.
Soon come.
But see, you guys are putting me on the spot.
You
right
have
now
somebody
with
run
the
you real
leadership
quick with a
role.
phone and tell you everything else that's out there.
But
That's what's up, man. All right, so let's get back into it. You know what's up next. Let's go.